Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to be creating the perfect tea house to enjoy some afternoon tea. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Let's just start off with the obvious. I am not British, but I love the idea of tea time. As a child, I was gifted this miniature glass tea set. It was the best thing ever. And I would pretend to open a restaurant in my bedroom and fill the teapot with water and then just pour water into these teacups. Those were like the best days. Fast forward to today. I don't play tea time, but there are tea rooms that exist and I've been to a few on occasion, and it is basically the tea time experience. Afternoon tea is a British tradition and somehow made its way to North America and became really popular here. My friend from the UK has never heard of afternoon tea or high tea in her life, which I thought was so strange. Like, it originated in Britain, and it kind of makes sense that there's no designated time to have tea because people in the UK be drinking tea any time of day. It's just like that. But it started off as an upper class tradition. So at these tea rooms, you can order tea and you will be served a tier of small treats. And these tiers you don't normally see at regular restaurants, which is what makes high tea such a different experience. And I love high tea. Like, you would find scones, mini sandwiches, pastries, all that kind of stuff. It's basically what you imagine tea time to be as a kid, but you can actually go to these places. And the ambiance is just on another level of sophisticated, elegant, dainty. If it doesn't feel like a fairy tale when you walk in, then you're probably in the wrong place because it's a magical experience. I highly recommend going to afternoon tea if there's any places around. If not, you can even make it yourself, and it's so much fun to just go with friends and enjoy eating these small handhelds. Like, it's just fun and cute. So today I'm building my own tea room because I thought I'm gonna go back to my roots, okay? When I thought back at my cottage video, I remember saying, this is my new style. I'm probably gonna build like this from now on. I never did. I don't know why. I just didn't go back to that style. And then recently I was just like, okay, I kind of want to give it another shot. So I'm gonna make the most out of it and build something that is of that style. I guess you could call it coquette, dainty, elegant, all those words. And I thought this would just be the perfect thing to build, and it honestly was. I recently discovered this local coffee shop, which I'm not going to tell you guys what it's called because obviously I'm going to dox myself. But guys, go support your local coffee shops. It's not only a coffee shop, they also sell tons of food items, and there is at least something you would like if you walked into that shop. So yesterday I decided to drop by to the cafe because I really wanted to try one of their drinks. And again, there are so many options on the menu, like I could not choose. I'm not even joking when I tell you. I asked ChatGPT to choose for me. So I'm someone who loves matcha lattes. I make my own matcha lattes, which I will talk about later. And I'm not really a coffee fan, so I was looking at all the tea options, and then I see a London Fog. And I have not ordered that item in so long. And London Fog is top tier. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go back and try it again, and I'm gonna try it from this place. Let me break it down for you. If you guys have never heard of a London Fog, it's basically an Earl Grey latte with vanilla syrup in it, and it is so good. Highly recommend if you are into something cozy with vanilla, and it has a subtle floral flavor to it, but not a lot. So it's like you're not drinking flowers. So if you ever make an Earl Grey latte, just add vanilla syrup to it and boom, you got a London Fog. I can rave about this like forever. Like, it is so underrated. So back to the story. I go to this cafe and I decide to order a London Fog for just under $5. Bruh. Which is insane. Like, this is why you support local. So I was pleasantly surprised by the size of it as well, because I ordered a medium, and when I saw the cup, it looked like a venti. And so I was like, okay, I'm coming back here. So as I mentioned earlier, I love making matcha lattes, and not just any matcha latte. I have been obsessed with making strawberry matcha lattes. Last year, I actually went to New York, and I could not leave that trip without trying this matcha place that we always walked by. And on the last day, we went, and so I ordered a strawberry matcha, and it was close to like $10 US, and I'm from Canada, so that is very expensive. But I was like, you know what, I'm in New York, I have to try it. Okay, the matcha was not horrible, but you could tell that they used strawberry jam as the strawberry puree in the matcha. I didn't really think too much of it because I thought, okay, maybe that's just how people do it. So a few months go by and I see this place selling strawberry matcha, and so I decide to try it, and again, it was like $8 or $9. And what makes it even worse is that where I bought it, it's like an open concept kind of cafe in the middle of this building, and you can see the counters that they make the drinks on, and I see a store-bought jam jar just on the counter. And you know, I was like, okay, that's not a good look. Now I know the secret behind overpriced strawberry matcha lattes. I haven't bought a strawberry matcha latte ever since, but I did get inspired and tried adding strawberry jam to my own at home. And you're probably like, girl, you would think I would never do that. But you know, I decided to try it because I have the ingredients at home. Why not? And so I try it one day and it tastes amazing. And then one day my mom comes home with freeze-dried strawberries. Like, what? I did not know you could just buy freeze-dried strawberries. But anyway, I've been topping off my matcha lattes with crushed pieces of freeze-dried strawberries, and let me tell you, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. And I make these for like pennies. So I refuse to buy matcha lattes anywhere, which is why I wanted to try a London fog. Okay, somehow I've been able to rave about tea for the past 6 minutes, and you guys are probably not even listening at this point. If you are, you're a real one. So back to this build. I was actually so close to not even doing an interior, which I know defeats the purpose of doing a tea house. And after a lot of contemplating and asking everyone around me, you know, it's pretty obvious you need an interior to display a tea house. Sometimes I complain about how difficult exteriors are, and to my surprise, like, this exterior popped off. And then I just dreaded the interior the entire time, like, especially not starting off with the floor plan, but also there were tons of problems that I had to work around, such as one of the roofs going through the ceiling, and that bothered me so bad. Like, I would go to bed stressed about this build because I just didn't know what to do. And I like doing small, intricate builds, even though this doesn't look huge. Like, this is a huge floor plan for me to work with. So yeah, that was not fun. Something that bothered me so much about this build was the lighting. I don't know if it's because, like, I never do builds like this where I need so much light, but even with natural lighting and windows, you still need lighting. And I found it so difficult. Like, I actually had to search up lighting tutorials and almost gave up. But I finally discovered a new light color. I have always used linen for all of my builds, and do I regret it? Sometimes. Sometimes when I look back on my videos and see how bright it is, that is a blindness right there. So I'm very grateful that I came across this lighting tutorial. It's a more natural hue, which I want. I didn't really want so much orange, because when you go to tea houses, there's no harsh lighting in your face. It's very natural and calming, and lighting can totally transform a space. And this is where I also discovered a new wood color, because I was just so tired of the linen and dark browns that I'm normally used to using, and I found that it was just so uninviting, and I didn't want it to be some depressing little dollhouse looking thing. And I just played around with the color wheel. It's such a game changer. Like, color plays such a huge role in your builds. I have some exciting news that I should probably share with you guys now before you all get confused. So I actually have a video lined up for next week. I know, when do you ever see elliedecals posting for consecutive weeks? New year, new me, am I right? But this is not going to be a bloxburg video. This is actually going to be a Blender tutorial. So to those of you who make GFX, you may find this tutorial helpful. So stay tuned for that, coming next week. I know, absolutely crazy. So bloxburg just came out with this Valentine's update like 2 days ago as I'm recording this, and by the time you're watching this, I actually started building this tea house 1 month ago. So as I was building this, I wasn't thinking too much ahead. I was just building this for fun. But as February was approaching, I remembered that there was going to be a Valentine's update, and at the back of my mind, I would wonder if the Valentine's update would come with items that might be useful for this build, because, you know, Valentine's Day and a tea house So I waited just in case, crossing my toes and fingers, that, you know, maybe there would be teacups or a teapot added to this update. You know, that would just be perfect. You know, what if? Unfortunately, that did not happen, but I'm so glad that I waited for the Valentine's update to come out because it came with so many cute foods that fit perfectly on these tiers of plates that I put on each of the tables. So this Valentine's update came in clutch, like the chocolates, macarons, cookies, and I'm absolutely in love with the cookies with the jam hearts in the middle. They're the cutest thing ever. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but during the winter update, Bloxburg added these festive plates to the game, and I love them so much. They were so cute. Also, these new plates that Bloxburg added just fit perfectly, and they're so cute. And when the update left, I didn't realize that they had removed that item because it was a seasonal item, and I was so sad. Like, I was actually gonna cry because those were my favorite items. But when this update came around, they added floral plates, which were like the most perfect thing for this build. This time I learned my lesson, and I kid you not, I placed a bunch of Valentine's items in the basement of this tea house, and so whenever the update goes away, I can just have all these plates in my inventory because we're not risking it. We're not risking it. We need these cute plates. It is about time we tour the tea house, but before we do so, let's take a look at the value of this plot. That is by far the most expensive plot I've ever owned, but it was worth every single penny. Here is how the exterior is looking. You can see we went for a very traditional structure. I'm also really happy with how the landscaping turned out. Here we have this beautiful little frozen pond. I have never used this staircase in my life. I feel like it's such a bold statement piece, and this was just one of those occasions where it fit perfectly. So if we head up this porch, we have some outdoor seating. We went for a very neutral color palette with some pops of color. Here we have a proper table setting with, of course, our tier of treats. We have some cookies, chocolate dipped strawberries, and because Bloxburg doesn't have teacups for whatever reason, I went ahead and custom made these champagne glasses, and I just think they are perfect. We also have a custom teapot here. Bloxburg, please take notes and consider adding a tea set to the game. And yeah, these tables have fairly similar setups. Now heading inside, here we have our front counter. I'm really happy with how this turned out. You can see here we have a very nice display with these cabinets at the back. I turned these into little display cases. And over here we got our main floor seating area. Absolutely beautiful. I just have to point out the ceilings. I completely forgot that these beams existed, and as soon as I placed them, it completely just added so much more depth. Otherwise, it would have just been a plain white ceiling. So it really adds a lot to the build. Heading over here, we have some more seating, some very comfortable cushioned chairs. Then heading over here, we have a grand piano. This might just be a regular piano, but you know what I mean. It just brings in that elegance. And here I custom built this cabinet with some delicate tableware. I think it turned out really nice. And we also have this little private tea room. Again, very nice. Now, if we head up the stairs and through this beautiful archway, we have our second floor. I was a little skeptical at first about even turning this into a seating area because, you know, there were a few obstacles we had to work around. You know, it was just a little difficult. But somehow I think I pulled it off pretty well. This is why I like working with smaller floor plans. I feel like you can get a lot more detail and just create a more cozy environment, which is what I love. You can see here we have two private tea rooms and a little wall divider in between. This right here looks like a movie scene. We also have a nice window view, and along this wall we have some booth seating. I absolutely love these short booths. They're perfect for two people, and it just fits so well in the space. We also have some cute picture frames, and over here we also have some extra tableware, and here's just a little waiting / seating area, and that basically wraps up the tour. Psych! I uploaded this video already and completely forgot to tour the bathroom. So just behind the front counter here, we have the bathroom. I don't even know how I missed this. Like, this is one of my favorite parts of the build. Here, I've custom built a bay window, which turned out really nice. And here's how the sink looks. The bathroom definitely needs a moment. I don't know how I left it out, but there you go. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet to become an elite. And I'll see you next week.